everybody, and welcome back. Now my oven, I did mean to turn that off actually, making a bit of noise. So we are going to make some mac and cheese tonight, and mac and cheese can be quite boring, I'm sure you could agree. Little people love it because it's got cheese and creamy sauce and all of that pasta in there. So we're going to do a few different ways tonight so that you get the opportunity to have a look at how fun mac and cheese can actually be. So we're going to wait just a little bit for some more people to jump on. So really glad that you could join us tonight. I'm going to wait till you're all on. I've got a little tip that I want to show you on a safety feature as well, so I'm going to take you through that. So if you've just jumped on, we've got our ingredients for our cheesy sauce. So we've got our milk, 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of butter, some salt and pepper, and then of course 500 mils of the milk. I've also got, because I thought we'd start with me doing some grating in the food processor. One of the biggest questions, and one of the questions I get asked the most, is how does the food processor go together? So I thought it would be good just to do a really quick little demo of the food processor, looking at the different bowls, getting ready our zucchini and our carrot, and then also our cheese. So we've got that to do as well. So I'll wait for you all to jump on, let us know where you're from. I'm really excited to see you again, which is great, or for you to see me again, and for you to join us in our cooking. We've also got something that we're going to release that we're going to do in a couple of weeks as well. So stay tuned for that at the end because it's exciting. Just something to add onto. Now I just realised I don't have the lid to my food processor, so I might just ask my cameraman to crawl and do a commando crawl across the floor to find my top into my food processor. She's really good at this. So if we can just wait till you're all jumping on. Again, let us know where you're from. Really excited to see you. If you haven't already made your macaroni, you might want to pop that onto the boil. Yes, that's cameraman, that's it. You might, very clever, isn't she? You might want to boil up your macaroni. I have to say, I find macaroni is the hardest pasta to cook. I don't know what it is, but I find if you don't stay on top of this sort of stirring every now and then, that it tends to just stick together. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to test next time, actually cooking it in the pot in the Cook Expert. So I know that somebody did ask about cooking our pasta in the machine. Absolutely, you can cook your pasta. There was a recipe that I did a little while ago on a live, which was a chili, prawn and chorizo pasta, and I actually did cook the pasta in with the sauce. So that definitely is an option. But just like you can cook your rice, you can also cook your pasta in the pot in your stainless steel bowl as well. So definitely can use it for that. So for anyone that wants to know. Tonight I haven't, because I'm going to do the sauce. The sauce, it's just not going to cook the pasta enough, and we want the sauce to be continually stirring when we do a bechamel sauce. So to put the pasta in there as well, the pasta would just end up being part of the bechamel sauce, and I don't think it would be very tasty. So the reason that I've chosen tonight to do the mac and cheese was because so many people are surprised at how easy it is to do a bechamel sauce in the stainless steel bowl. So I wanted to be able to show you that tonight so that you could see. So if I'm doing my lasagnas, this is how I do my sauce now. So I used to do it in the microwave. I'd melt the butter, then I'd add the flour, I'd pop it back in the microwave, I'd pull it out, stir it, add some milk, put it in for a minute, pull it out, stir it, put it in for a minute, pull it out. So it was a bit of a continuous thing that you were doing and you were constantly having to watch. Now, set and forget. So I throw all of my ingredients in, we pop it on for 9 minutes, 65 degrees, which I'll remind you of when we get to that. And it's super, super easy to do. So one that's really, really simple. Now, if I'm doing the bechamel sauce for my lasagna, this recipe is actually in the cookbook that you get with your Cook Expert, and I would normally use, it says 50 grams of plain flour and 15 grams of potato flour. To be honest, I just do 65 grams of plain flour. I don't worry about the potato flour, and it's perfect every time. When we're doing this one, we're only doing 50 grams of flour because we don't want it quite as thick, okay? Because we're going to be adding quite a little, quite a bit to it, so we don't want it too thick. So I'm sure you all had lots of time to get on now. So I'm going to start with just doing some really quick grating in the food processor. Now, our food processor is one of the only ones on the market that comes with 3 bowls. Okay, so the first one is our mini bowl. So your mini bowl is basically designed with the blade. So with that blade you can do your dips, mayonnaises. You've seen me do mayonnaise, it is amazing. If you were going to do a beautiful hummus or a pesto, this is the little bowl that I would generally use to put those things together, okay? So you can't grate and slice in here, it's just with the blade for doing your sauces and things. Okay, so that's our mini. So then we've got our midi bowl. Now the midi bowl is what I'm going to use first because I'm going to be doing my zucchini and carrot, and then I want to do the cheese. I'm going to use 2 separate bowls to do that. Now the midi bowl is only for grating and slicing, so it doesn't come with that blade on the inside like our mini and our large bowl do. So what I want to do is do the grating of the carrot and the zucchini in there, and then set it aside ready for once our bechamel sauce is ready. And then I'm going to do my cheese in the bottom. So it just means that we can keep using without having to wash up, because no one wants to be watching me wash up as we go along. So, okay, let me get out our 2mm grating blade. Okay, so we're just going to grate our carrot and our zucchini. Now, the great thing with grating carrot and zucchini with this is it comes out so small that the kids, well, they'll see a little bit of colour, but they won't be able to taste it, but they're still getting all those amazing nutrients from those vegetables that we're adding in. And it's nice and little, they can't pick it out, they'd be there forever. And what we're going to do is we've got a stabiliser which comes with your blades. We're going to pop that in, and we're going to pop that on to the top here. Now, with our food processor, I don't actually know if I've turned that on. Usually helps when you turn the machine on. Okay, so what you'll see here is at the moment the front of the screen is saying expert. But what happens is as soon as we lock on our food processor, that straight away goes to food processor for me. So I don't have to worry about making sure that I've got the right mode. The other reason to the safety feature with this is because we've got this part here with our bowls, this is the part that actually stops you cooking your food processor. Okay, so you don't need to worry about the heat going through, so that locks in there as well. So we've got all that locked in, and we're going to really quickly then grate some vegetables. So if you haven't used your food processor, I'd love to know why, because if there's things out there that you're scared of or you're not sure of, we'd love to be able to help you. The food processor, the fact that it comes with our Cook Expert for the same money that you pay for other machines, you really need to be using this food processor. It is actually equivalent to our 5200, which is our top of the range $1,000 food processor. So you get all that in your package, so you really need to make sure that you're using it. Now I know I'm talking to people that have got the machine, but I want to make sure that you're using every part of this machine. So, extra large feeding tube, if that feeding tube isn't down here to the max line, safety feature means that it won't actually start. So it means that little people can't get hands in there. Okay, so we've got that there to make it nice and safe. But we're just going to do our zucchinis and our carrots really quickly. So we're going to pop those in. I just love how quick this is. Done. Who could actually stand there and grate carrot and zucchini as quickly as what we've just done here? So I'm just going to pop that aside. Do need that stabiliser again. And then you can see in there, I've got all of my beautifully grated carrots and zucchinis ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to pop those aside for when we're ready for that. And then you can see I've just got a tiny little bit that's splashed in there, but really it's not a big deal. I can wipe that out in 2 seconds. Easy. But we're going to mix everything together anyway, so we're really not fussed about that. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab a paper towel. Excuse me just for a minute. And I'm just going to give that a really quick wipe out, just really quickly. Don't worry about rinsing it, just give it a quick wipe out. Just like that. And then I'm going to get on to doing my cheese. So what I'm going to do with the cheese is I'm actually going to go with our 4mm grater, just so it's a little bit bigger. It's going to melt through anyway, so it doesn't really, we're not really fussed about the size for this. But we're just going to then, I don't have to wash the blade up, I can just keep moving as I go. So again, we should have been timing how quickly I can grate all of these veggies and our cheeses, because it's super, super quick. Okay, so we've got our cheese ready to go, and we'll turn that on again. I've just dropped in there. Okay. So we needed about 1.5 cups of grated cheese and about 1/2 cup of your parmesan cheese. So we'll pop that now all over here. We can now pop our cheese aside. And again, you can see I've got all that beautiful cheese, all that parmesan cheese, all in there grated, ready to go. So we've got that ready. And now we can get on to making our sauce. So this is super, super quick and super, super simple. And again, you know that I like those sort of dishes. It just makes life really easy in the kitchen. So let me just get rid of these. I do like to make a mess. Just wish I had a cleaner that walked around behind me like this and we'd be right. Okay, so in we go now with our bechamel sauce. So you're going to grab your stainless steel bowl and we're going to lock that on there. Okay, now what we need to do is we just need to pop all of our ingredients in there, so it's really easy. So I've got in here, so we've got 50 grams of plain flour. So if you missed it earlier, I mentioned that if I was doing lasagna, I use 65 grams to make it a little bit thicker, but we don't want it too thick for tonight. We're just going to also pop in our 50 grams of butter. Now also, quite often they say at room temperature. I'm never that organised, so I just throw everything in. It's generally never at room temperature. So we pop in our milk, so don't be too worried about that, because I never do. Okay, so then we're going to pop in 500 mils of milk. Okay, and we're going to put in a little bit of salt and pepper. I tend to use white pepper when I'm doing things like this because you can't see the white pepper in there. If you want to use black pepper, it's okay. If that's all you've got, that's fine as well. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, just to give it that little bit of extra flavour in there as well. And we'll just pop those out of the way. And then we're going to pop it on. So this is how easy this is. Eve, and put that back in properly. Okay. I've got a tip for you. Don't ever try to wash your machine if you haven't put the rubber ring back in. It's tricky. Okay, so let me just go now. We've gone into expert mode and we're going to go for 9 minutes. It's not like working on TV where they give you a little camera, is it? We're going to go into speed 4 and we're going to go across and up to 95 degrees. Okay, so don't forget you've got Rose there too, so if you've missed anything and you need to catch up, just ask Rose and she'll give you the info that you need. 9 minutes, speed 4, 95 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to pop that there and we're going to let that go. Okay, so what am I going to do for 9 minutes? I've always got something up my sleeve, haven't I? Okay, so I did mention to you that with this one, mac and cheese can be really boring. It is something that little people tend to like on its own. You know, maybe big people do too, especially those that don't like their veggies. We're going to sneak some veggies in tonight with some carrot and some zucchini. But another favourite of mine is to actually add some roasted pumpkin. So we did mention to you that you might want to do the roasted pumpkin. I'm actually also going to add some diced up BBQ chicken, so nice and fresh today. And I'm also going to add some spinach and mix that through as well. And then I'm going to roast it in the oven. It is amazing. But with mac and cheese, you can do anything. So you can add Worcestershire sauce, you could add mustard. But I would really love you all to share what you do with mac and cheese. So, you know, people that might add the bacon, they might add mushrooms. But it'd be really great to know what you actually do add to your mac and cheese to make it a little bit, you know, more adult, I guess we could call it. Or whether, you know, you do like it really simple. I think mac and cheese is also a really nice complement to a nice steak with a salad or some, you know, roasted veggies or something like that as well. So again, this could be something that you just whip up really quickly if you don't have potatoes or you don't have rice and you just want to add something to, you know, to the side of whatever it is that you're cooking. So it's a really nice, easy one to do. So we'll pop all of that up there. Let's get rid of this actually. I want this baking dish because I am going to add to that my pumpkin and my spinach and my everything and mix it all through. So what I wanted to do while I have you is just give you a little update on a safety feature that I didn't know was there, but I now know was there. Okay, so I'm going to show you up on the screen. Let's turn that on. Okay, so it might be easier if I walk around to the front actually, so you're going to get really close now. Okay, so I'm going to come around here, and you might have to come in and zoom in so you can actually see what I'm doing, just on the screen there. But one of the things with our machine is we've got settings. So if we flick across, now obviously you're using your machine at the moment, but you can do this later. If you go across to settings, this is where, when we've done updates and things, this is where you might see a new thing. So if we go into OK, and if you scroll down here, there's one here called the hot mix mode, okay? Now what the hot mix mode means is that basically your blade can't go any higher than the speed 12 when your machine is over 60 degrees, okay? So basically, because we go up to the speed of 18, you don't want that going up to 18 when you've got things that are 60 degrees plus in there, because who knows what's going to happen. It's a safety feature. So if you go into the hot mix mode, you can see that it's either on or off, and you just click it up or down. And I'm surprised how many people didn't know about it. And surprised how many machines I've now gone to and actually put this mode on for them, so that people can actually have that safety feature. So I really encourage you to but to actually go into your settings. If you're not sure or you're confused, just send us a message and we can help you. But basically it's just going into settings, scrolling down to the hot mix mode, and then making sure that it's on. So it just makes it nice and safe for you as well. So hopefully that's something that you'll use and that you can actually pop onto your machine. Okay. Lucky I didn't wear my pajama pants, wasn't it? That could have been embarrassing. Okay, so we've got that going. We've got our beautiful sauce bubbling away, and it's just going to come together absolutely beautifully. We've got our zucchinis, we've got our cheeses, we've got everything ready to go to add into that as well. So I don't know if you're all sharing, but I'd love to know what you're putting in your mac and cheese. So, a nice bit of Worcestershire or mustard for that little bit of flavour. We've got our pasta ready, so if you've got your pasta ready, that's great. We can mix it all together. Also, let me know if it is something that you do regularly, and whether you do have it on the side with your chicken or your steak, or on its own, and how you actually get it a little more exciting. Okay, so we've got that going. Now, one of the things that we thought we might do, and we're thinking maybe we'll do it on our next show live in a couple of weeks, but we thought it might be fun to do something in the expert that maybe then needs to go into the oven to bake for 20 minutes or so. And while that's happening, we thought we'd get on to making a dessert. So if that's something that you might be interested in, we'd love to hear from you that that's something you'd love to watch. We do a dish, first of all, that does need a little bit of baking time, so you've got that time to actually make a dessert. And I think dessert's not something that we always do midweek, but it'd be great to do some really simple, easy ones. Beautiful sticky date pudding. So I had my family here last week before, time flies. Sticky date pudding and that beautiful caramel sauce. Oh my goodness. A real winter warmer as well. Scoop of ice cream, amazing. So we'd love to know if you would actually like to be part of that and join us for not only making a main meal, but then jumping back on with one of us making their dessert. So just a little bit something different, and just to really add on to what we're doing. Okay, so we've got that. We'll just keep that. How are we going there? 3 minutes. Look at that. So quick. Do you know what else? I found a recipe because I was trying to find something that I could do with the bechamel sauce, because like I said, it is something that we wanted to show you how easy it was to do, and it really is, especially in here. So we wanted to do that, but then I was looking at some different recipes of what we could do, and I found this amazing one. The only reason I didn't do it was because when I make spaghetti bolognese, my sauce cooks for at least an hour. Okay, so I do it in here, and I can cook it for an hour or more. It's whatever I want to, up to 4 hours. But this recipe was to do your bolognese sauce, and then you mix the sauce through your spaghetti bolognese, and then you cover it, you pop it into your baking dish, cover it in the white sauce and cheese. So to me it was a bit like a cheats lasagna. I'm so doing it because it's just looked amazing. But sometimes, we love the lasagna, but it's the time consuming, putting the layers in, and we just want something a little bit quicker. So I thought that was a really sneaky way to actually do a lasagna, and to just be able to add that white sauce and that cheese over the top and then bake it. So I was just like, wow, I'm so doing that. So we'll have to maybe we can do a longer session and do the bolognese, but I love to really cook them and get them really going. And I've trialed all of them and I love them, and I can do them in here as well. So it's a really good one to be able to do. It's about half a kilo of mince, and then by the time you add everything else in there, and that's what I would normally do for a spaghetti bolognese as well. So it's perfect. It's really good. So how long have we got? A minute and a half. This is where I wish that my mother had have sent me to tap dancing lessons, so that I could do a little tap and show you my skills, but clearly I have got no tap dancing skills. Okay, so we've got our safety feature. If you missed it, it's the hot mix mode. Go into settings, make sure you've turned it on, and basically it means you can't put your machine on if the machine is more than 60 degrees in heat, and if it gets to speed above speed 12, the machine will automatically turn off. It'll actually come down here with a red sign saying hot mix mode activated or something like that. To deactivate it, it's just making sure that you turn the speed down, and it's really, really that simple. So it's not a big deal to deactivate that. So let me know what you're putting into your mac and cheese tonight, because I'd love to know. And it's really nice to share your ideas with everybody as well. This is a really quick, simple midweek meal. So to be able to still be able to get those veggies and some protein and those things in there is really great if you can share with us what it is that you're doing. If you've flown in the door from sport training with the kids and they're jumping in the shower, it's at the same time. So the 9 minutes it takes to cook this is 8 minutes to cook macaroni. So the two of them come together very beautifully. To grate your veggies was really easy as well, and you've got everything ready to go. So we must be nearly there. So don't forget, I'm going to have a question for you, and my question, I'm not going to tell you yet, but I will tell you very soon, so hopefully you've listened. And we're going to give away one of our beautiful little Magimix measuring jugs, so a little addition to your Magimix collection. Are you ready? Okay. Now, I'm going to get a spoon, and I'm going to get my fabulous camera lady, to come on in here, because I want you to see how absolutely amazing. Look at, not a single lump, look at that. Absolutely amazing white sauce or bechamel sauce ready to go. And as I said earlier, if I was doing this for my lasagna, it would be a little bit thicker, because there'd be about an extra 15 grams of flour in there, but I didn't want to do it too thick because we've got lots of things to add to it. Okay, so at this stage, this is where I would be adding my zucchini and my carrot. So if that's what you're adding, then by all means start adding it. Now, because it's grated so small, the heat in here was actually enough, I found, to cook it through. Okay, so you didn't really need to put it back on and keep heating it. So I'm going to pop that in. I'm actually going to do the zucchini and the carrot, and then I'm going to add the chicken and the pumpkin as well, because all it is doing is going to give you lots and lots of extra veg in there. So we're going to pop in our zucchini and our carrot. Oh my gosh, I just love how beautifully this all grates together. And then I'm going to pop in, it's about 1.5 cups of cheese, and then your 1/2 cup of parmesan. So I've done a little bit more than I need, because I am going to sprinkle a little bit of this then back onto the top. Oh my gosh, this is so yummy. And then I'm going to grab my pasta. I've just pre-made that, and I'm just going to rinse some boiling water over it, stop it sticking together. I really am a messy cook, I tell you. Okay, so then I'm just going to pop in my mac in there like that. Look at that, isn't that just amazing? I wonder how much my children will have to pay them tonight to clean up the floor, because I've really done a good job. Okay, so then I'm just going to grab my Magimix spatula, which I've left in the drawer, but that's okay. I'll just walk around and get it. I won't make a commando roll on me again. Okay, we've got it. Okay, because you can't do anything without a Magimix spatula, it just doesn't work. So I just then gently fold all of that together. Now you'll already see that your cheese is starting to melt. I did try popping the machine onto, pop it onto 2 or 3 if you wanted to, but honestly it was just as easy just to stir it through. Oh my gosh, you need to come in just a second and have a look at what I have done in here. that this is 400 grams of cooked macaroni. Oh, there's my carrot. Okay. That cheese is just melting in there, like it's absolutely divine. So come in and have a little look at where we're at so far. This is just looking amazing. So this is what I would do. Now, you could use a bigger baking dish than what I pulled out. I just realised that my choice of dish was a little small, but that's okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some of that in there. Oh gosh, it's just amazing. And then I would add some of my, so you can see me, barbecue chicken through that. So nice and easy mix through. Okay, and then I'm going to add my roasted pumpkin. Look at this. This is, I'm telling you, absolutely beautiful. My camera person's laughing at me and I'm not sure why, but let's just ignore her. Okay, a little bit more on the top there. And then I'm going to pop cheese on that one. And I'm going to pop that straight into the oven and I'm going to get that roasting. So it's absolutely amazing. Now, if you've got the people in the house that don't want, and that's why I did choose to use a smaller baking dish, because I know not everyone in my house is going to want pumpkin in theirs. So for them, you can just spoon out the beautiful mac and cheese, full of beautiful veggies, and voila. Got to do a little bit of extra cheese because 1.5 cups plus wasn't enough, was it? And you can see that, now what's the time? Let me check. 25 minutes. We've made mac and cheese with zucchini and carrot, and we've made mac and cheese with veg, with added pumpkin, and of course our chicken. And I forgot to spinach that up, so I'm going to add some spinach to that as well, just to stir it through. I'm going to bake it in the oven, and we've got an amazing, not so child loving, or maybe they do love all those things, but something that just adulted our mac and cheese up, and really, really quickly as well. So I hope you enjoy it. I do have a question for you though. So my question is, what was the mode that you're going to go and change on your machines once we finish tonight? Okay, do you remember? So it was a safety mode that you're going to go into settings. You can go in and fix that. Make sure you've turned it on, just so you've got that extra safety feature of the speed and the heat for you as well. So I hope you enjoyed tonight. Really excited about your feedback on whether you'd love us to do a main and then a dessert one night. Maybe not all the time. Over winter we don't want to fatten any of us up, do we? But some really nice, desserts every now and then as well. I think could be a bit of fun. We've got some really nice, beautiful ginger mango ice cream that's in the cookbook that is to die for. So we've got some really great things we can show you. So let us know. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Looking forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks, and enjoy your mac and cheese.